soldier of Christ. Yes, you. You are not living your life. You are drifting away from it, day by day. You are standing on a narrow path. Ahead of you, someone is walking. Slow, steady, silent. No rush, no hesitation. Light follows every step he takes. This is the path of truth, the path of discipline, the path of life. But on both sides of the path, there is another world. Laughter, ease, sweet invitations, lust, deception, compromise. Everything is easy. Everything is fast. Everything makes you forget who you are. You look to the side. You slow down. One step, then another. You begin to drift off the path. No one pulls you. No one forces you. You just slip. Then he stops. He turns back and looks at you. No anger, no accusation. Just a gaze that sees you more clearly than you see yourself. And he says gently, "Follow me." But you don't answer, not because you didn't hear, but because you are busy. Busy with things that make you feel comfortable. Busy with things that make you forget the battle. You think this is just life, a normal life. Everyone is like this. Everyone is weak. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone compromises a little. But no, this is not a normal life. This is a war with no gunfire, no visible battlefield. Yet it happens every day, in your mind, in your choices, in the moments no one sees. How many times have you said, "Tomorrow I'll change"? But tomorrow comes and you are still the same person. How many times have you known what is right, but still chosen what is easy? How many times have you made promises only to break them yourself? This is not random. This is not just your personality. This is a battle. And the enemy is not out there, not society, not other people. The enemy is within you. Laziness, compromise, desires you do not control, the lies you tell yourself. You are not living. You are being pulled. Every day you wake up and you have a choice. There is no neutral ground. Will you stand or keep drifting? Will you fight or keep surrendering? The path is still there. He is still walking, and he still turns back looking at you. The question is not, how bad is this world? The question is, who will you become in it? Answer honestly, not to me, to yourself. How many times have you failed the same sin, the same temptation, the same habit, the same broken promise? You know it's wrong. You know it's pulling you down, but you go back again and again. Why? Not because you are ignorant, not because you don't know right from wrong, but because there is a part of you that does not want to change, a part that loves comfort, a part that craves instant gratification, a part that fears discipline, and you feed it every day through small choices. You call it, "It's okay." You call it, "Everyone does it." You call it, "Just a little." But Scripture does not call it that. Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me. Luke 9:23. Not when you feel ready, not when it's convenient, daily. And do you know what that means? It means you cannot keep your old self and expect a new life. It means there are things you must let go, not because they are too evil, but because they are controlling you. You say, "I am weak." Scripture says, "For I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do. This I keep on doing." Romans 7. You see, you are not alone. This is the battle of every human being. But there is a difference. Some accept it and live like that their whole lives. Others rise, not because they are stronger, but because they decide they will no longer be controlled. You don't need a miracle overnight. You need a decision, a simple decision, but a hard one. No more compromise, no to small lies, No to habits that drag you down. No to what you know is wrong, but keep allowing. Not once, but daily. You don't manage sin. You learn to refuse it. One small choice at a time, when no one is watching, when no one is controlling you. That is where the real battle happens. Not on stage, not in front of others, but in silent moments. And that is where you either grow stronger or keep being pulled down. You are choosing every day, whether you realize it or not. So the question is, will you keep feeding that weakness, or will you begin to destroy it with discipline and truth? There will come a phase that no one tells you about. No light, no big victories, no feeling of progress, only silence. You try. You become more disciplined. You reject old habits. But in return, no applause, no recognition. No one sees your fight. And sometimes you're not even sure if you're on the right path. You pray and there is no immediate answer. You try to change, but you still fall. You begin to ask, is it worth it? Or will I always be the same? This is where many stop. Not because they don't want to be better, but because they cannot endure being broken. But understand this, you are not being destroyed, you are being stripped. Stripped of old habits, stripped of illusions, stripped of the version of yourself you thought was normal. And it hurts, because you are not just changing behavior, you are letting go of who you used to be, a part that loved comfort, a part that avoided responsibility. You feel empty, no longer who you were, but not yet who you will become. This is the wilderness, not punishment, refinement. And in that silence, you begin to see clearly. You realize you need less than you thought. You are stronger than you believed. You begin to stand firm, not because life is easier, but because you are no longer dependent on it. Temptation still comes, but you don't react immediately. You still fall, but you rise faster. You no longer live by feelings. You begin to live by choice. This is real transformation. Not loud, not visible, but deep, very deep, and slowly something changes. You are no longer fighting to become someone. You are fighting because that is who you choose to be. No one forces you, no one watches you, yet you remain disciplined. That is when you are no longer the same person, not because you are perfect, but because you no longer surrender. And maybe you don't even realize. But in your darkest days, you have already begun to become someone entirely new. There comes a moment when you must decide, not your feelings, not your circumstances, but who you are. You cannot stand between two sides forever, 1 foot in discipline, 1 foot in compromise, half wanting change, half wanting to go back. No path is built on hesitation. Either you move forward or you stand still and get pulled back. But hear this, you were not created to drift. You were not created to repeat the same mistakes over and over. You were not created to be a slave to your desires. You were created to master them, not others, but yourself. A person who keeps their word, a person who can say no, a person who does what is right even when no one sees. That is real strength, not loud, not flashy, but unshakable. You don't need to become perfect. You only need to become someone who stops running, someone who faces it, someone who stands, someone who keeps walking even when tired. That is a choice, and you must choose. No one will choose for you. No one will live for you. Every day you wake up, you answer that question. Will you continue as you are or begin to live with intention? No grand oath needed, just one small decision kept daily. When you want to quit, but you don't. When you want to compromise, but you stop. That is when you are building a new self, step by step. And one day you look back, not at perfection, but at strength. A person who is no longer easily defeated. The path is still there, unchanged, not wider, not easier, but clearer, and he is still standing there, not forcing you, not dragging you, just waiting. Follow me, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but now. So the final question is, will you continue as you are, or will you step forward? No one answers for you, only you, and the decision begins in this moment.